Nick, I know you love boring interviews, but just to give you a heads up, this is going to be one of the boring interviews.
It's okay. Julian can do it.
All right. Well, this is going to throw you to the sharks, Julian.
Yeah, Brian is the biggest shark out there. Oh my God, be careful, bro.
Wait a second.
I can tell you honestly, Julian, like the best interview to have is like your first pop interview is Brian. He's the nicest guy out there.
Oh.
And we love to talk about birds, so a lot of common.
I've got two very special guests with me this week on America's Dance 30. Julian, go ahead and introduce yourself first.
What's up? My name is Julian. I'm from Black V-Neck. I'm one half. My partner Ian is not in the studio with us at the moment, but I'll be conducting this interview.
And a man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to let him introduce himself anyways. Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Nick, aka Afrojack, and I will be conducting this interview on my behalf.
And I will be conducting this interview on my behalf. Nick, Afrojack, Black V-Neck, welcome to America's Dance 30.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Before we talk all things day and night, your brand new smash with Money Long, Black V-Neck, Julian, you guys are kind of new. You've been around for, what, 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 years, I'd say. We're coming on 6 soon, but yeah, brand new is Black V-Neck, yeah.
Yeah, and you've been doing sold-out shows. You've been doing festivals. Of course, you guys have been releasing music. Would you say that this is your biggest profile song to date?
Yeah, I would like to think so and hope so. So there's a lot of momentum in the back coming. So a lot of nerves, but we've been working on this record for over a year and a half. So we're ready. I think we're ready for this one.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that coming up, about how long it's been. But since you guys are new to AD 30, why don't you give a little history of Black V-Neck?
Yeah, we're both born and raised in Miami. And we both grew up with house music. We've been making music since college days together. We decided to form Black V-Neck to satirize, all the DJs who wear black shirts. Nowadays, they're wearing Balenciaga and all the latest fashion. But we're running with Black V-Neck.
White shirts.
But yeah, we've been just, at the end of the day, to the core, we've just been producing house music. We've been lucky enough to be on some of the best underground house music labels, such as Dirty Bird here in America. We have records on Insomniac Records that are coming up, Repopulate Mars, Lee Foss's label. And thankfully enough, we got to link up with Nick, who really loved our music as well, and just keep spreading our version of house music to his audience, and now hopefully to even your audience, Brian. So we're looking forward to this one as well.
And
I'm just a messenger.
Afrojack, would you like to give it a little history of Afrojack while we're at it?
I really could, because I grew up listening to Nick. So it's, I think you can hear it in some of our tracks as well. We were inspired by Nick in the beginning when we were making really bad SoundCloud music, 10 years ago. But I wanted to be Nick growing up. So to work with him is also a huge honor every day. And I'm super grateful for this opportunity.
And Nick, how did you guys come together? How did Afrojack get together with Black V-Neck?
I had a friend of mine that really loved their music. And he told me, like, yo, check these guys out. I checked it out. I was like, wow, this is really good. So I wanted to meet them to see, like, how they're doing. What are they working on? Where are they going? So we met up in Dubai, during the COVID time, when we did our interview from Dubai.
Yeah.
And we had some dinners. I took them around town. We talked a little bit, did some music. We worked on a few records together. And they're just super, 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 super talented. They're like by far the best tech house producers that I know. And they technically are so far advanced because they care so much that I was like, okay, well, it's just a matter of time before people find out about their talent. And then they made an instrumental track, which was called In My Mind. And I remember very clearly because I recently played it again. And I heard it and I was like, wow, that's something special. So they sent it to me. We changed some things. I made some edits. And then I called Stargate. And I was like, yo, check this out. And they lost their and then they had the vocal of Money Long laying around already. Like it was already like half width, and we just didn't have verse. It was just like the loop, and they put it on and sent it back. And I'm like, oh my god, this is like insane. This is like one of those records, you know. Yeah, so send it back. We talked. We met up in the studio. We worked digitally back and forth. And end of the day, it's like, okay, now the record is done. Day and Night, Black V-neck, Money Long, Afrojack. And yeah, I've been playing it. It's going off. They've been playing it. It's going off, which is a really cool sign because they're in a very different like subgenre of dance music than me. Like I'm playing main stage, and they're playing like the side stages for all the tech house lovers, the house lovers, like the really. How do you call them, Julian?
Yeah, the best way is what you said it, the house lover stages. So if you're really into house music, you're going to be like, oh, I've heard Nick 500 times. I want to go find some new talent. And this is those are the stages that we're playing.
And it works on both stages, which like to me, that's like, I remember when I did Takeover Control back in the days, and that was like a similar effect. Like Tiesto would play it, but at the same time, I could play it on the side stages for the more underground people. Takeover Control was underground at some point, believe it or not.
So crazy.
Before Brian started playing it everywhere.
Sure, blame it all on
Stop
me.
doing that.
Well, let's talk about this song being played because, I mean, Afrojack, you played it for us like a year ago. I remember you playing it at EDC Orlando. So you guys have been working on it for a long time. Julian, you said it's been a year and a half. What takes so long for the song to come out?
The main reason it took so long to come out is because I wanted to make sure it had the right release it deserved. I really felt like the song is one of the best songs I've been working on in these days. And I didn't have my label set up completely correct at that time. I've been working on it a long time, and now we partnered up with Universal Music Group internationally, and they are behind the record too. And it's actually crazy because it shows like the biggest record I had on TikTok, and not that TikTok is like necessarily genre interesting for us, but it's like a measurement of pre-successful records for how it's going to do on radio and Spotify, because the people that curate those playlists, they care about how's the record doing on TikTok. And I don't personally care or know, but this record already has like 65,000 creations on TikTok. But that means 65,000 people made a video with that song. And my biggest record on TikTok only has 40,000 videos, and it's been like out for 3 years. So it shows you the power of being able to work with such a professional expert group like Universal Music Group. It's insane.
Well, you're blaming me for the success of Takeover Control, so I would say that we're going to be playing Day and Night on Evolution, but I'm going to drop it so that you guys don't have to worry about that.
Well, I'm very excited to finally watch how it performs on the metadata and the track list by Brian Fink and Dance Radio than looking at how many TikTok creations are there. You know, honestly, I love TikTok, but I'm learning how to create videos. This is difficult. It's difficult. You know how to do it, Julian?
I myself, I'm telling my team, we got to think of videos. We got to think of videos. Like it's just, I don't know.
It's a whole other job, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately it is, but it takes time, I think, and just got to keep studying it and spending hours on the couch trying to figure out what how it works, and then I think it will just naturally come the more you engage in the whole app in itself.
At the end of the day, it's communication, like we just want to make sure people can hear our music, and if that's how we have to communicate to people, we'll learn.
With a song being kind of sitting on the shelf for a year and a half, are there a lot of different versions, tweaked versions of the song? I always love finding out, from beginning to when it's finally mastered, how many V's there are of the song. Were there a lot for Day and Night?
It wasn't even sitting on the shelf for a year and a half, just to clarify. It was maybe sitting on the shelf just for the last 2-3 months as we were building the whole promo and everything, to all right, we're happy with this version. Because we made the original instrumental. By the time Nick got his hands on it with the chorus, that was maybe 3 months after we made our version. And then I was like, this is great, but it needs a verse. So then it took another two months. We got one verse. And I was like, this is great, but now we need a second verse. So like we kept pushing this record and pushing it. So
there's a lot of texting between me and Money Long.
And then Nick texting us as well. I mean, then it was another, after we got all the vocals, which could have taken that could have been a whole year, I think, in itself. Then it was processing it and mixing it down and creating the structure how we wanted it to come out, in a sense. So making sure the hi-hat is not going to be too loud if you're listening to it on your car speaker, all those like little nuances. So that took time, and we're thankful for Nick for pushing us as well to learn, that aspect as well. So we do have the radio version, which is going to be the one commercially available everywhere on all streaming platforms. And then I think we're going to have our, the extended mix of the, radio versions for the DJs to play. We're going to have our club mix as well. So it's a little less vocals, just the chorus and the breakdowns. So a little bit more DJ friendly for our genre of DJs. And then I don't know, but I hope we're putting out the instrumental as well. So
absolutely. I think like one of the cool things is now that like I can do what I want with the label. I can do what I think that every DJ secretly wants when they release a song on the major label, that you can actually tell the story through all the different versions. So like you said, there's a prototype version. So the first version that Julian ever sent me, I want people to hear that. It's also like, the story where there's a lot of producers and DJs and artists that work together with other people, like they try to hide it. And what we're trying to do as well is like completely the opposite. I want everyone to see how talented Julian and Ian are, how talented Black V-Neck is, and how big they will be. I'm just happy I can present them, And that's what we also can do with that prototype mix, so they can see how did they start and how did it come about.
Let's kind of ignore the fact that Afrojack is on this call. Julian, how does it feel to have Afrojack singing your praise so much when you were just saying that you were trying to be like him?
It's a blessing. It's a full circle moment. One of the first DJs I saw that inspired me to want to get on stage and become a DJ myself was Nick, Afrojack, and Laidback Luke. They were doing a back-to-back Maya Music Week. I wasn't even old enough to get into the party. I was like 16. I left high school. I went to see them and changed my life. I was like, I want to do the crowd control that they're doing. This is what I want to do. And funny enough, Nick brought us on stage to Ultra to do the song. And that same day, Laidback Luke is messaging us saying, "Oh, I love your stuff." And it was just all one big full circle moment of seeing these guys almost 10 years to the date. And then us going on stage with Afrojack. I mean, honestly, I'm still mind blown by it to this very moment.
Well, congratulations on the success. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot from Black V-Neck coming up. Afrojack, obviously, besides Day and Night, you've got your smash with Rehab and Aura right now. How was that song born?
Oh, bro, that was like, I just work with Rehab all the time, and we were talking about doing something with Tomorrowland. And that's how that song came about, actually. It was a lot of back and forth. But I tell you, honestly, I'm very happy with the song. Song's performing very well. I love Tomorrowland music. We're doing a lot of things together. But right now, it's time for Day and Night and Black V-Neck and Money Long. So it's also interesting, actually, because this is like Money Long's first crossover song, if you know what I mean. It's the first song that she's doing like outside of her comfort zone, outside the traditional R&B, which she wrote mega hits in, doing a dance crossover song. So I really like the amount of attention this song is getting, and I hope it will make a lot of people happy.
I was really surprised because I hadn't really been familiar with Money Long, and I was doing my research and I saw her doing an interview with The Breakfast Club, and I had no idea that she was R&B. So it's incredible the combination of Afrojack, Black V-Neck, and Money Long, three worlds pretty much colliding on this song. Okay.
Basically. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my computer's tripping out over here. That's something
awkward.
Sorry.
It's all good.
This is why Julian is here. Come on, media training.
Thanks for torpedoing this interview, Nick. I appreciate it.
The worst guy, he's so well.
Julian, just to give you a little background of what Nick mentioned earlier, because I didn't realize that you guys had gotten together in Dubai when lockdown had started happening. Afrojack and I were having conversations, and literally during one of the conversations, he's just watching birds outside of his window, telling me about all this. And and sending me pictures of the birds.
Yeah, but I have to say, I was not bird watching. I was watching birds. It's two different things.
Okay. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Nick. Afrojack, Julian, Black V-Neck, thank you so much for your time on America's Dance 30. It's great seeing you guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for having us.